So how is everyone actually doing? How is everyone liking the quality of life stuff, the select all, the claim all? Also, how is everyone's luck with the actual mints? Because I know Aeon got like what, like I think he minted about 50,
Oh,
and he
poor
didn't
Aeon.
even get like a single epic.
He had a bad run this round, but I still contend that Aeon is generally lucky. Generally lucky overall. He just got really bad luck this time. It's a
So
skill
what you're
issue.
so what you're saying is he should keep on minting, and he's gonna get lucky.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
mean, I mean, it's technically true. If you're unlucky, just I mean, buy until you get lucky.
Right.
And once you get lucky, then if you keep minting, you keep getting lucky. Actually, so um, if you feel like you're unlucky in life or in anything, just spend all of your money on whatever you're doing, and you will for sure get lucky, and your life will be so much better, and only joy will happen. Right?
Yeah, that's how it works, right? Yeah, the claim all and select all, I gotta say, was probably one of my favorites. Quality of life updates. As someone who has a lot of seals, um, it was very cumbersome to have to select them, even though we did have multi-select.
Right? Like Naboko had like what, like 200 seagulls or something.
Yeah, I
So
bet they feel so much better about it.
like literally spending like 30 minutes setting everything up is not ideal. We also want to add a feed all mechanic at some point in the future.
Oh yeah, that's really gonna streamline things. Very, very much needed. I think that the goal is going to be for the resource gathering to have some thought involved with it, but not have it be a cumbersome chore. It should be complementary along with the gameplay.
Yep.
Do webcam? I actually don't have a webcam on this computer.
Are you planning to mint out all the seagulls, or are you going to stop the mint at some point? So the plan is to keep the mint open, and there's no like specific time frame that we would stop it. The goal is for us like improve the actual game, and once the game is actually deeper and we have on-chain mechanics, then the new people that come over actually have a chance to experience the whole mint thing, instead of just going to OpenSea. That's the whole point of like having the supply be way bigger.
Ooh, what creature will you release next? That's an interesting question. I don't know. Have you thought about it?
I mean, I don't know. Think of a really stupid, useless animal that's still cute, and that has a chance.
Useless, cute animal. I feel like there's a lot of them.
So like a sloth, right? Like really
Sloth.
stupid and useless.
That would be that would be cute. I don't know. Would that be hard to?
No, you just create a new bracket that I mean they take like a week to gather,
Oh yeah, they're
right? Because
really
it's a
really
sloth.
long. Penguins or a quid.
Have you thought of finding the game with a mechanism similar to SFL, Blockbuck, or restocking seeds? I have thought about, and I mean, more than likely we will have season passes in the future, because as well, with OpenSea making fees optional, more or less every game is uh going to look for new ways to get funding. It's just how it's going to happen now. Um, and I think season pass is fair, but there should be a free tier of a season pass and a paid season pass. Oh.
Aquarium for fish, please.
Any plans for the building after the lighthouse? Yeah, the next buildings after the lighthouse. I mean, we probably will try and package up a few buildings at once, not just have one building and then wait for a month to add another. The buildings that would come with the lighthouse would probably be like a lumber mill, and a quarry basically. It's so you could refine your actual pebbles and branches into like planks and actual stone. You mean you don't have a ranged creature to be used in your project? What do you mean?
You just have to imagine the water is there.
Yeah.
Imagination.
Do you really want water to be another resource that you actually have to give to your creatures? So if you want that, I can do that. We can do that. So we might as well say this right away, but we had some talks in our like last team meeting, and more or less we all agree that we will soon work on a mechanic where you will be forced to actually feed your creatures, or otherwise they will actually stop working.
I think the
Do you have a
consensus being, even for all of us who do play the game, I think feeding creatures is either just not worth it or too cumbersome. But how do you guys feel about the whole feeding creature mechanic? How many of you? Let's take a quick poll. How many of you actually feed your creatures? I'm curious. Okay, well, there's one. There's one. Don't. Okay, only feeding otters. Always here. I feed my creatures once. Okay, so no,
It's like
that's
50-50.
no. Okay. Once a day, maybe.
Yeah, so making it not optional, I think, is going to help. Yeah, Bowden, imagine if you actually don't feed your creatures for too long, they actually rebel. So they form a rebellion faction and they have to buy 50 more creatures or mint them to, quell the rebellion. Can you explain the community engagement strategies you have planned to involve players and enthusiasts in the development of growth? No, I can't. Allie, can you do it?
So we had mentioned it before, but we're essentially not at a point where if we were to showcase what we have now, there would be really no, I guess, relevant content to a new player coming in, other than it being just a pure collection game at the moment. So once we have, I guess, more viable gameplay, it's going to be a lot easier for us to bring in new players because they'll have something to do rather than just collecting resources. Consider yourselves very, very, very early in a project. Once we have some really good loops within the game in terms of gameplay, then it's going to be easier for us to reach out to other projects. It's going to be easier for us to start promoting. And then once we have more of our business side worked out, then we can hopefully our coffers will be a little more full and we can spend a little bit of money on marketing, which does cost money. For those of you who are not aware, marketing is not free. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, basically pointless to spend money on marketing unless you have like a viable product.
Yeah, if we were to bring and onboard new users, I'm not sure that it would be. We're not at a state to retain them. I think the people that are here are incredibly early and passionate about what we're doing and believe in what we're doing. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't be here. And know that we are trying to build something that is both fun, engaging, and giving the community and everyone who invested in us investment back.
Mysterious Bumpkin says, I would like to have another mechanic instead of bonus resources. You can control inflation or maybe something related to the gameplay. That's exactly what we're working on right now. Like, that is completely the sole focus of what we're doing right now after the mints. That is the only focus. How will the withdrawal of resources work? So, now that you mention it, more than likely, no one will be able to withdraw the basic resources. So more than likely, you will not be able to withdraw your branches or your pebbles. You will only be able to withdraw them after you refine them into the better ones. What this basically does is this combats any sort of like immediate dumping of resources, of people just gathering and dumping right away. So you would only be able to trade the resources that you refined in the better ones. And also, what this does is that if someone wants like multi-account or whatever, you can't really skip the initial steps and start like becoming busted with your new account or whatever, because you can't buy the initial resources to like make the starter buildings or whatever. Any updates on refining when? We'll see. I can't like predict a date because I don't know yet, and I don't want to overpromise anything. But it's exactly what we're working on right now. So remember to tell all your neighbors about AR. Remember to tell your grandma about AR. If you have loving parents or grandparents,
Deep.
what you should ask for Christmas is money for NFTs.
If we want to target the grandma market, we're gonna have to be more mobile friendly, and that's just a fundamental truth. And I know how much you hate mobile users, right, Dee?
See, I hate them, but you know who doesn't hate them? Sakul, because he's working on something for exactly mobile users
Perfect.
right now.
Amazing. Love it.
So while I completely hate all of you that use mobile, Sakul does love you. Just know that. Multiple accounts with no creatures. Yeah, right. Exactly. And I think everything that we're working on and everything that is there right now, we're fully aware of having mechanics that fight off multi-accounters or whatever like that. We just basically build it into the design instead of having to fight people that multi-accounter bot.
I'm so glad that you liked the island and the interactions. The team that worked on it spent a lot of time and effort putting that together, honestly. And we're hoping to add more to that. So for those of you that are here, just keep that in mind. If you're still playing SFL, we will be adding some special stuff for our AR asset holders, and for those of you who have completed the quest or are going to complete the quest. So I would highly suggest you do if you haven't already.
Yeah, I'm actually in talks with Adam and everyone on the SFL team exactly about it. We're like hashing out the last details on what we can and can't do, all of the iterations, interactions. Also, is it the work list to work on the white bar showing up on ultra wide monitors? I don't know. You should probably make a ticket, and we will get to it. And then maybe I'll hit up Sakul or Grant about that. It's just such a niche issue that like no one really like bothered to like focus on that primarily. Especially if no one actually like tells us about it, then we just it's sad, but we just don't really notice that. In your opinion, is it good to always choose the extreme gathering in creatures and not feeding them? Or is it better to feed them and choose the moderate gathering? Well, right now, it all depends how much time you have and how much patience you have, I guess. But what we want to do is make it so that feeding is not optional anymore. So if your creatures actually go to work, at some point you will have to feed them or they would stop working. Project Dignity could be the top community island out there, and it would definitely highlight us for thousands of players. I would argue it already is. It's not. We don't really have like strong competition. Let's just say that. When is the mandatory feeding coming? We'll see. I'm fully aware of not giving out dates anymore, so we'll see. But we have, like, for anyone that thinks we lack ideas or anything, we basically have like a pipeline of features that we want to add for like, I guess, like a year. Like, no joke, we could literally not come up with any new ideas and we would know what we need to do for like a full year.
Right. Ideas are definitely not short on this team.
Yeah.
It's more so
Oh yeah.
the resources to implement those ideas and make them become a reality. Specifically development, which just takes a lot of time, and that's just the
And
nature
money.
of development and money.
Yeah. So I guess I'll also vaguely leak this, but we are also working on a mini game, although it's really not all that small when you think about it. We're working on a game within our game that would be exclusive to Seagulls for now, and you'd need your resources to actually enter that game. It would actually be like not an idle game. You would actually need to like do stuff in the game. And then, the rewards could vary from better resources to actually getting like the recycled plastic and so on. You can't find plastic in the game yet. I wanted to know how much time I have left to get more resources. Oh, you have time. You do have time. It's not a tower defense game. It's a simple game that has a lot of replayability. Let's just say that. How do you actually peg ARP to 5 cents? It's not pegged to 5 cents. Every ARP is pegged to 1 cent. And the way we peg it is they can't be traded between players, right? So because it can't be traded, it's incredibly easy to peg. It's just like 1 ARP is 1 cent for discounts in the store, in the marketplace, forever. And then, we can do sales, we can do different discounts based on items. Maybe some items you can use ARP for the full price. But it will always be 1 ARP is 1 cent.
Maybe we should have workshop that name.
ARP?
Every time
No,
you
I love
say
it.
ARP, I just
I love it. It's great. ARP?
I feel like we could have workshopped that.
Look, you could if you want, you can say ARRP.
Which is funny because if you're an American, that means something completely different.
Yeah, assault rifle role playing. Okay. May I suggest to put on homepage if how many players are online, just like SFO. It's just not something that we would like focus on right now. We have more important things to add. Seagulls minigame. Poop on seals' heads for plastic. It's not exactly that, but there is poop involved in our game.
Because we all know how much seagulls enjoy pooping.
Pooping.
May I suggest? Oh, okay. How many players are online? I think you already answered that one.
One sort option in the game, D.
Not a question. Just wanted to thank you for the hard work. Aw. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here and believing in us as a very small team.
Yeah, also just to answer, I want to say Merb so bad, but I'll just call you Merb. I don't care. One sort option in game D. Not sure yet. Sakul is working on something else right now that's really, really cool. And I think people will be very glad with it once he's finished. So sword option might take a little bit more time, but it's definitely what we talked about in our meetings. ARP sounds like a seal name. I know, right? It's great. ARP?
Well, this is recorded.
It's great. ARP?
We get the full on ARP from D.
ARP?
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I'm very smart and adequate and professional.
We have a little fun. Do a little trolling.
Oh, yeah. Once people actually see that minigame, you will know exactly what kind of team we are. It will never be the same. What we can expect for this year? New resources, new area, hopefully stuff on chain, and maybe even the minigame. Who knows? I do not overpromise, so we'll see. But like the new resources, buildings, and on-chain stuff, more than guaranteed. Transgender tadpoles. You mean to transcendent tadpole? Yeah. I don't know. So those kind of got delayed a little bit because we are working on like stuff that's more related to the actual gameplay currently. So that's why the transcendent tadpoles are a bit delayed.
Kumar, to answer your question about are there any plans for future development, collaborations, or updates related to Frog and Seagull NFTs? Again, this is tied into the when it comes to collaborations, we want to have more viable gameplay. I know that a lot of projects do collaborations when they don't even have a product to showcase. They're just bringing people in to buy assets, and there's actually nothing to actually do in a game because it doesn't exist. We don't want to take that route. We want to take the route of if we're going to bring players or show players or showcase players the game, we want to have something viable. We want to have something that people can actually engage with. so that when they're buying or investing any asset into any assets in the game, that they have something to use it on. So right now we're just not at that point, but that's something that we do want to do. And when we're ready to onboard new players, it'll be easier for us to spend that marketing money and get more players in the game and possibly get more collaborations with other projects. But
Yeah.
as you guys know, the NFT market is not in the best state right now. So we're doing our best with what we have. And our main focus is to get better gameplay loops, more interactions, more use for the things that you guys have purchased. That's our goal right now.
Jed says, I think it will help to convince more people to enter the game if they saw on the homepage that thousands of players are in the game. It will gain trust to the project. So, first things first, the game currently is idle. So, there's no reason to have many people online at the same time because it's just not a thing. There's no reason to. So, what you do in the game is you hop in, you set up your creatures to work, you feed them or whatever, and then you log off. You do other things, right? So, it's really not relevant for our game right now. It wouldn't really do much at all. And that's not even including the work you would need to do to actually add this function as well. What creature can refine crafts? Every creature will be able to refine crafts. Though you might want to have your most rarest creature do that. I won't spoil the mechanics yet, but basically, whenever you refine your resources, based on the rarity of the creature that's refining the resources, that will impact how many resources are basically destroyed during the refinement. So some amount of resources would go to waste. It would be great to have minigames that bring interactions between players so we can grow organically and stronger as a community. Imagine Among Us inside AR, Seals versus Seagulls. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're doing. That's why we're making a minigame. I don't really get the plastic and ARP thing yet. Is it written on the white paper? Only heard it here and there. We haven't made the specific page for plastic and ARP yet because you can't get plastic yet. So while ARP is functional in the game, we haven't made the mechanics for you to get it yet. That's why the docs aren't fleshed out about it. But the gist is that ARP is always pegged to 1 cent, and you will be able to refine simple plastic into recycled plastic, basically making a resource into a dollar amount that's in our ecosystem. What role do you see your community playing in the ongoing development and growth of your Web3 project? So I will answer this instead of that, and I will say that the role of the community is to be free marketing and free slaves. That's correct, Deb? Yes. Thank you
As
for
the
agreeing.
PR and marketing director, no, that is not correct. Although we would love for you guys to share the game if you want to, if you feel you should share it,
Look,
but not slaves.
look. If you give yourself a forehead tattoo saying AR, I will gift you 100 ARP. It's a great deal, and you should do it. Also, if you want to run like into a football stadium naked with holding like a poster of AR, you can do that as well.
All right, we don't want anyone to commit crimes for AR. I want to clarify that everything that D says here are his views and not the views of Project Dignity. Please. Please.
About the new quests in Community Islands, will there be an announcement when it comes, or it will be some sort of surprise? So I don't know if you are talking about our server or the SFL server. Can you just clarify that, and then I'll answer that. Can you reveal how many supporter passes was minted? You can literally see an OpenSea. I think it's like 143, and I think 12 or 10 of those are the team supply. Yeah, it's 143 as Aeon said. Okay, thanks. I guess more specific info will come in the future. Yep. European football or American? Both. Ideally both at the same time. D has to hold his hand a little in these comments. Sometimes he loses his temper. Oh, I have a great temper. I never lose it. Right? I never lose it. I'm the most calm professional person of all time. Actually, do you agree, Ted?
No comment.
Leslie, how do you see the future of your Web3 project unfolding, and So, Kumar, I feel like I'm smelling some GPT here. I'll just say that because I know how you actually talk. And this is not how you actually talk, dude. Right. Like, I'm literally feeling like I'm being interrogated by ChatGPT. Well, I could answer this. Leslie, how do you see the future of your Web3 project unfolding, and what exciting developments can the community look forward to in the coming months or years? I think we literally talked about this, so I don't know what else to say about this. In the short term, we gave our roadmap, and long term, as far as years go, who knows? Look, I don't know what I'm gonna eat in 2 hours, so I cannot tell what the project is gonna look like in a few years. Wasn't Kumar trolling in SFL? Kumar is trolling everywhere. It is his life's purpose, and we all love him in a endearing way for who he is, which is a troll.
Yeah, D loves trolls. We know that. That's Steve's favorite thing.
I love my own kind. I love my own kind.
All right, any more questions, guys? Anything else you guys are
Yeah, bring it.
wondering?
When webcam. Okay, so a question here, and just I hope as many people can answer as they can. Do you actually want me to be on webcam? Does that actually matter to you specifically? No. Yes.
Shakurti is very, very adamant about you getting on webcam.
Security, are you into me? I am getting
don't inflate his ego
slightly
even more,
uncomfortable.
please. I need a face on this project.
I don't know if I'm good looking enough to be the face of the project.
What do you mean?
No, we won.
Aren't you a
Nope.
god, D?
I
That's
am
what
a
you
god,
told everyone.
but look, I'm a god, but I'm not like we are purely speaking about aesthetics. I talk with you every day.
God can't be ugly, so.
So, like, all jokes aside, though, that's what I mean, though. If everyone actually wanted me to, sure, I can like make a setup to where I'm like streaming with a webcam or whatever. But the reality is, like, I live like in a one apartment, like 1 room apartment. It's dark as hell, and I have like nothing that's good looking behind me, and I have like sometimes chaos at home because I have a child, right? So it's not an ideal scenario for me to like set up a stream with like a webcam. But I would do it if actually people wanted that. But I feel like I'm doing enough just being literally 24/7 in chats with people answering every question possible.
For those 143 players, do you plan to give them a special recognition in the future, giving them special airdrops once the game is fully released?
The passes already bring in so much value that I think it's more than enough. You already get more in mints than you spent on the actual pass. And not only that, after that you actually get like PGWL airdrops. And as I've said, more surprises to come, right? So I think that's more than enough. I think Chuck Reddy is a very visual person.
Yeah.
I don't imagine you like reading books, Chuck Reddy. At one point you might need to get there, so prepare. Yeah, I mean I don't mind getting on cam. Like I'm not worried about that. That's why I like asked everyone if they actually care for that. Because I mean the reality is at some point in the Doxer and everywhere else you'll see me doxed and see my actual face anyway. I'm not exactly hiding from anyone. What motivated you to start working on this Web3 project? I had friends that had particular skills, and I thought slavery was a great option. So, what is the next pass to be minted? I'm excited. I love to collect other passes. Season passes. Season passes are more or less guaranteed to be a thing in the future.
All right, were there any other questions that we missed? Did we answer opening chests after buildings?
You see some profit that can be made in AR. What do you mean? Like for users or for myself? What do you specifically mean? How much the season pass so that I'm starting now to save extra money? Well, they would definitely won't cost. They won't cost like 160 if that's what you're asking. There will also be a free tier, so you shouldn't have to buy the pass to play the game. But you'll get like bonuses and more features unlocked if you do have it.
Super Mario sequels. Right, so the mini game will kind of be like an arcade game because it will require resources in order to play, and it will have a pretty infinite game loop.
And it will get harder as you level up. Yeah. And so hopefully we add like leaderboards and stuff like that in the future as well. Oh yeah, AB, I know. But that's what I mean. We are working on exactly the things to make this deeper. What you have right now is there's a reason why we call the game pre-alpha right now. Because it's literally like I wouldn't even call the game alpha because it's that early on and that young. Oh my god, Jet. No, don't ask questions like that. That's no.
I'm actually I think I'd answer this in the last AMA. I'm a vampire, so I've been alive for like 500 or so years. I
can
count
confirm.
after 200.
I can confirm.
Yeah, so you can confirm.
Space Invaders, but is a seagull pooping against spaceships. You're kind of getting there. Please age reveal that. No.
I already did.
No.
I think I said 500-ish. Again, it's not exact. They didn't really keep
she lost count
back then.
Yeah, she's lost count. That's why I hired her, because she has infinite knowledge.
Yeah. I'm just here helping out my good friends that I love. And imparting my wisdom.
What Dad does is she finds the worst dictators in existence and then helps them out. So that's why she's
I've done
here
a
with
lot
me.
in the time that I've been on Earth. Quite a lot, actually.
Do you have 45 old? Thank you. Alright, guys, any more actual questions that like related to the game? Or are we wrapping this up and giving away a few seagulls?
We might be ready to wrap it up.
Let me see. Is there anything that I can leak to people? Do people want leaks? We can't wait for the building launch. When will the mythics be discovered? So the last date for people to submit the mythic seagull art is the end of this month, basically. And after that, it's going to take probably a few days for us to finalize the art. Ask for the artist to make anything that's needed additionally. So give or take like a week or two. Although that doesn't stop anything from you using these seagulls right now.
All right, do you want to pick some winners?
Well, it won't be Kumar because you have to be taught a lesson. You can't GPT your questions into winning something. PvP have planned in the future, yes, but PvP is insanely difficult, and that's like a stretch goal if there ever was any. Oh yeah, Orange Banana has like got the new role of the mythic, and it doesn't fit with your name at all. You should call yourself like I don't know, like Grape Banana.
Yes, Cell Power. The AMA has been recorded, and it will be on YouTube later. So don't worry about
that. If you have any questions, you can, you can dish them out right now if you want. Okay, so who's gonna get? It was not in the rulebook of a ChatGPT. Well, now it is. As that said, I'm the god. I make the rules here. Do you plan how to do the gameplay of PvP? Well, it's pointless to think about it now because PvP would come in like more than likely a few years. Like, let's be realistic. What are the next animals going to be? How much money to cook? You mean to mint? I think. Yeah, I'm not sure about the next animals. Maybe whales, maybe fennec foxes, maybe penguins, maybe something else. Not sure. Oh my god, Sukul says, Sergi, I hate MetaMask app browser. I hate it too. That's why I do not have my Web3 wallet on my phone. That's how old I am. I use my phone for calls. and that's about it. Any PvE. I mean, the minigame is going to be PvE. Talent is required to ask questions from Chat GPT. You do not appreciate my talent. I do appreciate your talent. That's why you are not silenced here. Also, how do I pronounce his name? Why Evils? I don't know, the pirate guy. So you were talking about, I guess, like you can earn something to use it inside SFL. Or you're talking about the island specifically? When PD in Phone D. Being so cool about it, he might let you know something. Or not.
Sakul's our resident mobile dev.
Sakul is the best. Whenever I ask him of something, he says no and then does something else. Now, to be fair, it's usually a great feature. I just know nothing about it. Yeah, Sakul is like, I'm like, add this, and he's like, no. Then I'm like asking him what is he doing. He says nothing, and then after a few days, he's like, oh, look at this new feature. I'm like almost done. Consider the mechanics of crossing animals to breed rare creatures. For example, to cross one legend plus one legend, the chance to get a legend is 1%. I don't like the idea of breeding altogether. I think if anything, it creates this like Ponzonomics effect. Even like if it's not how it's planned out, it's usually how it turns out. Does something make SFL players to come here and farm in our game to gain resources or some rewards to SFL? That's what the island will do. Hopefully.
Right, Sakul.
If you remember, collab with mom players of SFL goes to mom. That's what the island is supposed to do, as I've said. But I can't speak anything now yet because I'm still in talks with Adam and everyone else. I could leak something. Sakul, leak something that isn't. You know what? I'll stop. Just leak something that you're working on. D, are you the founder of PD? Yeah, I am. Add mechanics let seagulls steal crops from SFL pumpkins at night. I wish. Any more questions?
Any more questions before D picks the winner?
Yeah, look at that, guys.
Nice.
Look at that.
Ooh, very pretty.
That's hot.
Super, super exciting.
Sakul, have you injected the malware? Or oh sorry, it's the wrong chat. I am joking, by the way. Just before like anyone like actually freaks out. Hopefully with this app that Sakul is working on, you would be able to play the game on Android and actually get notifications when your creatures are about to gather. That would be amazing. Oh my god. Kumar, oh my god, dude.
You just copy and pasted the whole thing. Wow.
No Apple up. So the way that Apple works is they brag about like privacy and stuff, which is cool and all, but that also means you can't just invade the Apple ecosystem and make your own stuff. It's just not how the ecosystem works, so you can't do it. Sadly. Where are the seagulls named AV and Papa? They might be like Seagull 4921. No one knows. Free Android phone for all seal holders. For seal holders. Wait, no. How about if you mint 1,000 seagulls, I will buy you the cheapest Xiaomi phone.
What? Wait. What did you just say?
It's like that Chinese brand.
What is it called?
That's like Xiaomi or whatever.
I've never heard of
It's
that.
like it's called Mi, and it's like XYO
Oh,
like this.
I see.
Yeah, you wouldn't know because they're banned in US.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you like mint 1,000 seagulls, I will buy you a phone of that brand, which costs like $70. It's a great deal, I think. Have you tried using the OC to make an affiliate program for the sale of seagulls? What is OC? Oh yeah, Ali.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today winners will be picked. Yes, I know. I was planning on doing that after the AMA, so we'll be picking winners for both the Twitter giveaway and the story competition. So for those of you that entered.
OpenSea has no like affiliate thing unless you're like a verified person. And for those that don't know, OpenSea has very big fees if you want to work with them directly.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, D. I'll let you pick however many winners
Let
you
me
want.
see.